Now, we all know if you're a game developer, you have tons of free resources at your fingertips. Asset stores, tons of free vector downloads, free 3D assets from Turbo Squid. But what if you're an artist that just ain't grasping this coding crap? Now what? Well, you might want to stick around for the rest of this video because we'll show you how to use AI as your personal free developer for your games from beginning to end. Now, if you're trying to code as long as I have, I know how frustrating that could be. All the books, all the actual training resources such as YouTube, even paying the developers that actually coach your games could be an actually costly venture. We could use the AI system for pretty much anything, even defining how big we should make our sprites. The AI will return back to us the best suited sizes for our actual game and all game sprites, which is actually in today's resolution. We're going to start off pretty simple with a simple platformer type game. And we're going to actually try to code this game from beginning to end using ChatGPT. And we're going to do none of the development. All of this is going to actually be handled by an AI system, which actually is machine learning. As far as the art side, we could definitely handle this side. This is actually where we shine, creating our art and all our graphics for our game. But when it comes to the coding side, we're actually going to rely heavily on the AI system to develop for us. Believe it or not, in most platforms, there's a lot more art than it is development. So you're going to spend a lot more time on the art side, but we're going to knock that out since this is where we're strong at. And then we'll actually get into the development to attach our code to our actual design. The beauty of this is if you're not actually strong at any of this stuff, you can still use both downloading assets from asset stores or actually grabbing vector art from free resources so you can keep your expenses down and still use the AI system to actually be the development side of it. This actually benefits you in all ways, and all you have to be is basically a layout artist. Just finishing up with running, attacking, jumping, all of the animations that we actually need for the game. And then we gotta actually get every one of them together, drop them into our animation queues, and then set it up with the development so we all just tied right into the Unity project and don't need to go back and forth. Level layout, we actually design in pieces so that we actually have the option to actually move little floor panels around. We do the background and layers to actually create our parallax effect that you're going to see later in our scripting. I'm going to actually make an attempt to be a little neat here, actually creating folders for each things like sprites, scripts, UI, just so that we actually can keep it in a nice orderly fashion so we can actually just drag and drop all of our assets and stuff to it. All right, here go the scary part. We gotta open up Visual Studio. But that is all good. We're actually gonna use AI for this. We ain't gonna approach this at all. We're just gonna ask our AI system some questions. It's gonna return us back some results, and we're gonna copy and paste that right into Visual Studio as we go. Now, just because we have an AI system, it's not all roses and sunshine. We still need to understand the actual UI of Unity and to actually apply animations, where to apply their scripts to. But thankfully, ChatGPT actually tries to help with that, leaving comments in the system below once it actually returns you the script. in the first test of the game, and that did not go well. But that's not on the AI, that's on me. I should have actually freeze transformations in just the one direction. After giving him a floor collider, that looks a little better. He's actually jumping sky high. We could actually change that with some of the actual rigid body settings, and that should actually take care of that. And we'll take care of some of our animation settings, get that all ready, and we should have an actual working character. What's really cool about the AI system is it's actually true computer learning. You could just simply ask it to add things to the script, and it'll return actually edits to the script. Like for us, we're actually going to be adding the left and right control so the character can actually about face, and also other things like adding attack scripts in conjunction with the actual movement script. Now, one part about Unity is editing things in the animation editor can be a little tricky. So there are videos out there. I'm thinking about putting out one about just the animation controls and how to edit animations inside the animation controller, because there is a lot to it. But once you actually get that down pat, then it's actually pretty easy. If you're actually already familiar with that, then no problem at all. Just use these tactics you see here, and it's pretty simple to actually get the first character laid out. We actually want to also handle the attack animation so that our character have an attack. So we also want to work with the projectile and actually attaching to the script and working with the actual rigid body so that the actual projectile could actually fire across perfectly. Now the animation controller can also get a little jumbled up. The bigger your animations, the larger this and more complex it could be. They have better systems to actually handle the animation controller, but for such a simple game like this, we're not going to actually exercise that right now. And we're just trying to actually show the scripting options we could use with AI, so not really such a big deal to go into something so intense as the animation controller. That is a whole different animal by itself. Now, once we had the parallax script that the AI just wrote, we could actually get the idea of how our first portion of the game without enemies is wrapping up. And I'm not going to actually drop the enemies or anything like that in. We could actually see that in the finished product. I'll actually be attaching the finished game on my webpage. You can see all of the details for everything, including the ChatGPT link in the description below. Please like, subscribe to the video. It actually helps me create things like this. And it also gives me an idea if this is something that we're trying to do. I'm actually trying to build a community of indie gamers where we actually can develop together and build together and have game jams, stuff like that. Something I always wanted to get into because it was very difficult for me to actually create games on my own. So building a community would actually help a whole group of indie gamers and put out great games that probably actually never came to fruition. Thanks. Like I said, like and subscribe the video. Thanks for watching.